and welcome to the Astrology in You podcast. I'm Kerrie Hourigan, and today we'll be looking at the new moon in Gemini coming up on the 30th of May 2022. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the original land carers, the Awabakal people, where this podcast is recorded. I give my deepest respect to elders past, present and emerging, and acknowledge the Awabakal people who have cared for this land for tens of thousands of years. I acknowledge this land was stolen from them and that sovereignty has never been ceded. So just a reminder, you can get a free mini astrology report that includes a very detailed birth chart from Astrology in You, and there's a video to show you how you can create a free birth chart with transits at astro.com, and you can find the podcast on iTunes and YouTube, which is very exciting. Any resources mentioned in the podcast I will have links to in the show notes below, and if you receive the newsletter you will have access to the new moon in Gemini through the houses. And as you can imagine, there are countless interpretations of this, so I've put together some general interpretations that will help you understand the energies better. The new moon will be happening at 9 degrees and 3 minutes of Gemini. The moon signifies the beginning of a new cycle, therefore it's an ideal time to set a new intention, so check to see what house this is happening in your own chart, as this will be the life area that will be affected with the Gemini energy. Gemini is a mutable air sign. It's very adaptable. It represents diversity, communication, and mental activity. The brilliance of Gemini is it gives us the ability to see things from different perspectives, and we can consider many sides of an issue, enabling us to be more conscious of the many options we have available to us. If you know someone with strong Gemini energy, they are brilliant problem solvers and can juggle many things at once. So just to observe and think about how many options you have to address or overcome an issue or problem can settle the mind and calm the body. The more you practice this, the better when trying to solve a problem, and this helps alleviate a lot of stress. When we believe there is only one way, we can become extremely stressful, so incorporating this idea when problem solving not only calms you but gives great hope. And as they say, there are many paths that lead to Rome, suggesting that there are many ways to a conclusion. Being one of the air signs, Gemini relates to the intellect, the mental, communications, thoughts, journaling, speaking, learning and logic. Gemini signifies connecting and sharing with others. Gemini archetype is curious with a remarkable attention to detail. A good example is a journalist and their ability to ask questions and their capacity to deal with enormous amounts of information. The Gemini archetype is very social, and as this is the sign that rules thoughts, they can be very quick and witty, and the laughing is in abundance. I mean, some of my Gemini friends are some of the funniest people I know, and they're great to be around if you're feeling a little bit down in the dumps. A person with strong Gemini archetype can demonstrate an ability to hold copious amounts of facts and information. It can be extraordinary. However, this can be paralysing as well, as there is far too much information and can render them indecisive. More on the shadow side of Gemini, they can be scattered, chaotic and unstable. Thoughts come in at a lightning speed, making it difficult to corral the thoughts, and thinking can result in a meltdown. In conversation, switching from one topic to another in midstream makes it very difficult for the other person to keep up, as they are trying to follow the thoughts and can be so distracted as they can't even keep up with their own thinking. I mean, just ask my friend Susan Hart how I do this to her because of my Gemini moon, and it can be quite stressful because you're trying to keep up with your own thinking. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and is currently in retrograde in Taurus till June 4th. Now, Taurus is a fixed earth sign and is known for slowing things down, and this can be somewhat frustrating to the energy of Gemini, but is necessary. And thankfully it has been, because with the Mercury in retrograde, I cannot tell you the enormous amounts of issues, problems, restarting this podcast, and this is why I'm running so late with this particular one. So I do apologise for that, but it has been truly the most frustrating thing. Now, Mercury rules communications, and this slowing down can assist us greatly to take time from our busy lives. We can often experience negative self-talk, such as I'm not good enough, I'm too old, I didn't go to university, or I didn't go to college, so just watch out for that. And if you do start to go down that pit, get into nature, and this will help slow your thinking down. So to further expand on that, the Mercury retrograde gets us to review, revisit and relax, and especially in this period of time, if you're doing detailed work or you're working with contracts, that you can make sure all the details are correct, all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. In your communications, make sure you are very clear to whom you are communicating with, and you are clear with their communications as well. But that Mercury retrograde in Taurus will also assist with this and help slow things down for us. This is, however, a time to step up and to be more conscious of what you are thinking. And although Gemini is very creative, and that's due to its diversity, our thoughts can be so scattered. We can be like a loose cannon on deck. We need to be aware of our thoughts and be in charge instead of our unruly thoughts ruling us. If you struggle with this, see the work of Byron Katie. And dear sweet Katie has a process to help you unravel stressful thinking. And it's all free. You can find numerous videos of her on YouTube. So these scattered thoughts and this busyness that our minds can get into makes it very hard to achieve things. And we can only achieve things when our thinking is focused and intentional. When we are consciously aware, we can be the master of our thinking, and this is the only way things can happen. Slowing our thinking down makes us more aware, in turn slows our body down. It helps us rejuvenate, where we can experience higher emotions of hope, relief and joy. Meditation is also another remarkable way, or being in nature, which I've mentioned, and I highly recommend both. Mercury in Taurus trines Pluto in Capricorn, also in retrograde, continually exposing and weakening the old ways to make way for the new. We are seeing this on a global scale, and here in Australia we have had a federal election where a new Prime Minister was elected. Prime Minister Morrison was ousted, not just by the opposition of the Labor Party, but the rise of independent candidates, mostly women winning long-standing seats from the Liberal Party. I'm still having trouble, which has been in government for nearly 10 years. And honestly, this has changed politics in this country forever. Oh, Mercury retrograde, playing havoc with me again. So check to see what life area or house is this new moon in Gemini occurring for you. What old ways do you need to let go of? See what options you have to make way for the new. We have Mercury, Uranus, Venus and the North Node all in Taurus. And when 3 or more planets are in the same sign, this is called a stellium, meaning the energy is concentrated, and in this case it's Taurus. This would relate to resources, values, self-reliance and possessions, including matters around money. Money, as we know, doesn't buy what it used to, as our currency is worth less every day, adding to the higher cost of living and with wages not increasing. This is worldwide, where we only have to look at the higher cost of housing. We hear commentary from the UK, the USA, Europe, Australia, because it's the same here. This is unsustainable and change is inevitable, and it's those who are not prepared will be caught. So this would be an ideal time to revisit your finances, and my dear friend Susan Hart of The Moon in You has currently a free financial literacy course available. This is an ideal time to find new ways to approach your finances, and Sue does a remarkable job at this, and it's so valuable and so packed with information. The Taurus stellium sextiles Neptune in its sign of Pisces in a wide conjunction to Jupiter in Aries. And this alignment of these two giants correlates to inflation, which we are seeing around the world. When Jupiter was in Pisces with Neptune, we saw the beginnings of the torrential water and the flooding as we've experienced here in Eastern Australia. However, the healing, dissolving nature of Neptune in its own sign of Pisces helps us reconnect with our spirituality, and this is assisted by Jupiter in Aries. You will feel motivated that anything is possible, and it expands your horizons, and in turn you can motivate others. So as we look at this new moon, how do we nurture ourselves in this energy? Well, medically, Gemini rules the shoulders, arms, hands, respiratory system, bronchial tubes, lungs, nervous connections for sensor and motor skills, and blood capillaries. Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, rules the anatomy of the ears. And the reason I mention this is that many people have been experiencing ringing in the ears, and this, a lot of them are saying, is related to the solar flares of the sun. So if this is you, you might want to investigate this further. And there is somebody called Pat Donworth. I'm not sure if Pat has a website, but I'll put a link to Pat's Facebook page. So what can you do in this new moon? Well, you can start a meditation practice daily, helping to calm the mind, and this in turn will calm the emotions. Find out how many options you have to solving problems. Be more flexible in your thinking. Be more social with family and friends. Spend more time with your siblings. Go on short journeys. Look at your finances and come up with new ideas for additional income. Be in nature where possible. Again, this is a way of slowing down. It's so enjoyable. Cuddle the dog, pat the cat, just get into the garden. Watch a funny movie, tell a joke, have conversations with friends and family, have a manicure or maybe even a massage for your shoulders. Check in with your heart, because the heart's intelligence links to all that encompasses our bodies. It's a reminder that we are connected through our hearts to each other and to a loving and higher consciousness that supports, nurtures and loves us. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Take care of yourself. Hope you're going through the Mercury retrograde okay. God bless, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.